What's up, people? It's your girl Adeola. Nigerian Lawmakers, my fathers and my mothers, at the Senate, at the House. Why are you guys so wicked? Benny, there's no other way of saying it. Eburu, you're wicked. For so long, we were begging you to pass the bill that will mandate all Nigerian politicians from top to bottom and their family members to receive medical treatment only within Nigeria. Then, because we know that the moment you pass that kind of bill, our hospitals will be well equipped overnight and all our healthcare workers will be well paid when you know that your life is in their hands. But you refuse to pass that bill. Even for checkup, you go abroad. So instead of you to pass that bill that will mandate your treatment in the country, now you want to stop healthcare workers, especially doctors, from taking up jobs abroad unless they've worked for 5 years in Nigeria. And you want us to think you are doing this because you care about brain drain in the country.
In 2020, UK opened healthcare and visa. They were all going to UK and US too, and Canada. So what should we do?
Haba. I don't understand. This thing is common sense now. You are not treating doctors well in Nigeria, but you don't want them to take up jobs abroad where they will be treated well. Nobody do be that. I better long.
Okay, maybe to give back to the society, that is to our people, after training you. Yes, we are not saying you cannot go abroad to make your money, but if state government has subsidized your tuition to the tune of 40 to 150,000, the least we can get from you is that after your expansion, before you are given full license, at least you can give back to the society within a period of 5 years.
To be fair, he actually has a point, because the rate at which we are losing our health workers is quite alarming. I'm also aware that in so many countries, they have this practice that if you are sponsored, you have to work for maybe a year and so on because you were sponsored. Why do they need to work for 5 years because of 150,000 naira? It doesn't add up. If they are well paid, they won't be so desperate to leave.
There are some states in this country that they will not be paid salaries for months and for years. The salaries that is even very, very small are not being paid properly. These are the fundamental issues. Doctors are being kidnapped every day, no security. So you have to look at the push and pull syndrome. Sometimes in the country, the infrastructure is very, very bad. People don't have hostels to live. They don't have houses to live, and they are training in very, very, very difficult conditions.
That's the chairman of the Nigerian Doctors Association in Lagos.
These are the fundamental issues. Doctors are being kidnapped every day, no security. Sometimes you have patient relatives beating and maiming doctors. You hear about the doctor that died in Enugu going on call. You hear about the doctor that died in Delta State that was maimed after treating a patient. And till today, nobody has come out to say these are the people that caused the death. You
want to keep people in suffering. Only witches and wizards do that. We all agree that we are experiencing brain drain in the country, but this is not the solution. Our doctors and nurses are living in thousands, but the solution is not to say, oh, you can't live for 5 years. Because even after 5 years, they will leave. Or they will start going to Ghana or South Africa for med school so that they can leave immediately. My fathers, I am ashamed on your behalf. You know I must be there. I'm always saying you should call me. I would have advised you guys that instead of acting like witches and wizards, how much do these men get paid, the Nigerian lawmakers? So the man speaking is a House of Rep member, and in 2020, one of his colleagues, that is Honorable Simon Karu, revealed that they get paid 9.3 million in a month. And the House of Rep is still small. Our senators get paid more than that. 13.5 million naira per month in allowance, so plus salary of 750,000 naira, and that is based on what one of them said. This is not one. Senator Shehu Sani was the one that said it. What is the qualification to be a lawmaker in Nigeria? Secondary school certificates. This thing is upsetting me. What about medical doctors? How many years do they have to spend in school? 6 years. Jesus. For a med degree. But if they are trying to become consultants, they have to spend additional 5, 6, or 7 years in school. So a Nigerian doctor gets paid between 120,000 naira to 180,000 for junior doctors, and then consultants get about 450,000 naira per month. again, depending on where you are working and your years of experience and your expertise as well. And they now look at the salaries of people with the same qualifications abroad. They see what they are getting, and you don't want them to go. But the good thing is, even the man lobbying for this bill to prevent doctors from leaving knows how much the doctors get paid once they leave the shores of Nigeria. In fact, he started his argument by talking about how much medical doctors get paid in the US.
It's an average of $82,000 to $100. That translates to over 60 million in Naira. Ditto, that's at the exchange rate of 750 Naira per dollar. Ditto in UK.
You know, it's almost as if the man is upset that the doctors get paid that much once they leave the shores of Nigeria. My father's at the Senate. Does this make sense to you? Is this fair to you, what you are getting paid with school SAT and what they are getting paid? I'm not saying all of you have school SAT, but unfortunately, some of you are not educated, so it's even hard to try to have this kind of conversation with you. You never sat down to think it is important to increase the salaries of the people that are saving lives in your country, or you never even thought about giving, even if it's half of this your 30 million allowance, even if you give, I don't know, 8 million every month towards the salaries of doctors, they won't be running out of the country the way they are doing. So it never occurred to you. This is why people should be educated. I think we need to start demanding more from people that we are electing as officials that will be representing us. So you cannot have a problem with somebody wanting to live for greener pasture. Some medical doctors are suffering in Nigeria and they know what their colleagues are getting paid abroad. Increase their salaries, treat them well, pay them on time. They will stop leaving the country. Let's move on to something else because I'm starting to get upset. Speaking of doctors, a huge shout out goes to this Ghanaian student doctor who not only graduated in flying colors, but the guy got 16 out of the 22 awards given out to graduates that day.
In medical biochemistry, and the awardee is Nathaniel Ni Kudu. For best student in microbiology, awardee is Nathaniel Kudu. Best student in community medicine, Nathaniel Kudu. Best graduating clinical student, Nathaniel Kudu.
Father, as in this brother is a genius. So Nathaniel Kujo, a graduate of Cape Coast University. By the way, my Ghanaian people, please move closer. This brother must have been frequenting a Nigerian jollof rice restaurant. This is not the work of Banku or Shito. No, you can't tell me this is the work of Wasa Wasa or Kenke. No, I don't know. This one has Nigerian jollof written all over him. You see what else? Nigerian jollof does wonders. By the way, just so you guys know, this video you just watch is what every Nigerian parent expects of their children. Even if they themselves did not perform that well, they expect all their children to perform this way, especially when they spend money on them. Nigerian parents have expectations. So the man said in an interview that he enjoys watching movies and playing video games. So he actually has a social life.
It's always been my dream to be a doctor. As I was growing up, watching on television, movies.
Tell me what you do to have fun.
I do a lot. I'm more of an indoor person.
Okay.
Personally, I'm more of an indoor person. So I like watching movies a lot. I play a lot of video games personally. Yeah. And I hang out with friends as well as and when I get the time. So, yeah.
Can you imagine playing video games with this dude? Or watching movies with him and then you did not win any award and you now found out how smart he is. You can't dog by our fingers are not medical. This is why you should never compare yourself with anyone. So this has nothing to do with the interview and he didn't say that this is how he was raised. But I've heard that if you want your children to be really smart, so that they don't have to labor so much in order to acquire knowledge, in order to learn. So they don't have to spend 3 hours studying. They can spend some minutes studying and do as well as somebody that studied for hours. And this is for parents who have little kids. I've heard that the brain develops a lot in the first 2-3 years and gets up to like 90% development by age 5. So a lot of parents with toddlers would start teaching them early so that they can have the vital foundation to build upon when they now become adults. So they start exposing them to like phonetics, they teach them like the letters, the numbers and so on early, they teach them to read and write early. Again, I don't know how true this is, but I know that sometimes there's a difference between a little kid that goes to private school versus public school in Nigeria is what I'm saying. I don't know about other countries and how fast they can learn later in life. Maybe parents can attest to this in the comment section. But I'm not saying that if your child is older than 2, 3, 5 that they've lost the opportunity to learn. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that people say that if you invest in early childhood development, that it could help them later on in life, like when they are in college and so on. And so that's why sometimes you will see two people studying the same thing. Someone will study for 1 hour and they will be fine. Somebody will study for 3 hours before they can be where the person that studied for 1 hour. Having said all that, it doesn't mean that one child will be more successful because they started early in life. But once again, we're very proud of this brother. But guess what people are saying when I uploaded his video on Instagram? They were like, if the Ghanaian government doesn't pay him well as a doctor, guess what he will do in a few years? He will also do what? Japa. I don't know. Maybe he loves his country and he will stay. But if this person is this smart and, you know, you are not paying him that well and he sees how much he can make outside the country, the brother may also do what? May also decide to leave. And since we're talking about doctors today, I think we should give a huge shout out to one of my fathers, that is Dr. Muhammad Ali Pate. This Nigerian doctor has been making us proud in the international arena for a long time. He was the Nigerian Minister of State for Health from 2011 to 2013. But this man has been making Nigeria proud in the international arena for so long. He led the World Bank's global response to COVID-19, represented the World Bank on the boards of Gavi, the Global Fund, UNAIDS, and the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovations. He's also a professor at Harvard University. And now, ladies and gentlemen, my father has been appointed the new CEO of Gavi. Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance. That's a public-private global health partnership with the goal of increasing access to immunization in poor countries. He's now the CEO and he will be resuming this fall. I met this man in 2014 and the one thing that I would never forget is how humble and approachable he was. I mean, he never acted like most Nigerian politicians. Like, honestly, I'm super proud of Daddy. Congratulations. We're so proud of you. Thank you for making us proud. So congratulations, sir. We're so proud of you. And speaking of doctors and nurses leaving the country, again, I'm not saying that anybody should leave, but if somebody out there is trying to leave and you're having trouble getting your transcript, please don't forget that Help Me Waka is offering that service. Benny, they will get it out for you like ASAP. They're waiting for your phone call. And they want to be delivering groceries to the doorsteps of your loved ones. You can have a plan that they will be delivering every month. Go ask about the price. I've been talking about it. And if you sign up for it, you can win a whole bag of rice. You can even win a goat if you sign up for these monthly grocery deliveries at the doorsteps of your loved ones. This is especially for those of you in the abroad. But they're also doing it if you are within Nigeria and your parents are far from you. You can call Help Me Waka to deliver food to the doorsteps of your loved ones. And lastly, I just want to thank you guys. We are because you are. You know you are because we are. Thank you so much for patronizing us at Adobe's. Honestly, I just want to thank you. Our Easter sale was overwhelming. My people like sales. Like, you guys like sales. So I didn't realize, because for a whole week we could not sleep. We were shipping out orders. Thank you so much, everybody that patronized us. If you have any complaint, any questions, or you want to send us a review of the product, email us at info@adoves.com. And I wanted to mention that if you buy our growth serum, to use it, all you need to do is twist it so that there's space here and then the oil will come out. We didn't want to give you one that you will remove the cover because it may get lost. And then when you are done, make sure that you twist it back. And don't forget, very little goes a long way. Otherwise, it would be dripping, You don't need too much of it, just very little. And don't forget to send us your reviews as well. Did you guys click the thumbs up button yet? All right, thank you so much for clicking the thumbs up button. All right, y'all, it's been real and I'm keeping it right up in here. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, I'm watching you on Plasma TV. Press the subscribe button and the bell button. Until next time, I'm going to see you all later. Peace out.